Went from condos to Pop's house, on calls now bus routes.
I think the craziest moment for me was when he did, as far as his career, was when I realized the level of actor that he is, man. And it was, we were at my mom's house, and he said, man, look at this. I want to show you the walk I got that I'm developing for this character that I'm doing with Tom Cruise. And I said, the walk? Like, that's how tough he was. That's an actor, bro. When you have a backstory in your mind about the character, that's not going to be in the script. You can ask me anything about this role because that's the research I've done in my head. That's what I've developed. As a matter of fact, he even walks like this. And I said, look at this walk. He said, yeah, it's something, ain't it? I'm like, okay. You know? And then it's Jerry Maguire. And Jerry Maguire was so awesome, too. I'll talk real quick about that. The funny thing about Jerry Maguire to me is, you know, being an actor, too, because it's funny. You're like, how was it? Did you feel it coming? I was like, no, I don't know. When he won the Oscar, I didn't think he was going to win. Yeah. I didn't think he was going to win because, not because I didn't think he was good, but because of who he was up against and because he was black. Now, he was up against Ed Norton. I don't know if you saw Primal Fear. If you haven't watched that film, and usually they do they still do it to this day, the Golden Globes and they do the Oscar. So he was up against him in the Golden Globes and he lost. Ed Norton won the Golden Globe. And I was just like, well, that usually means he's going to win the Oscar. And then for the night of the Oscars, Access Hollywood called me and said, hey, we want to send a camera crew over to your house. Because you're not going to the Oscars. So he's like, no, I'll be at the house. You know, my parents are there, but he ain't getting me little brother a ticket. But I'm at the crib. You know, I'm throwing a watch party at the house. They're like, we want to come bring a crew. And I'm like, that's awkward. What if he doesn't win? They're like, we have a pretty good idea he's going to win. Like, that's just our hunch, you know. Like, there's camera crews at everybody's probably house. But, you know, they're telling me, we think he's going to win. All right. So anyway, so they come in, and I remember, the only thing I remember hearing them say, the winner is cute, as all I remember hearing. And then it was like almost a blackout. Like, everybody, going crazy, man. And, but I remember going to the premiere and watching it and going, not bad. Yeah. But it didn't hit me at how good the movie was or how good his performance was until I watched it the second time. When I watched it the second time, because the premiere is different. I'm also an actor. I remember being on the red carpet, him going, go inside, take the seat, it's about to start. I'm like, I'm trying to get all the press I can get. I'm trying to get me an Oscar one day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about other stuff, you know, and it's Hollywood. I'm doing my thing too. So, you know, it's like, I'm not really watching a movie. It's watching a movie this, but, that's Tom Cruise over there. Look at that. That's whoop-de-whoop, you know. Yeah. But then when I got home and watched it, man, when it got to the point where he was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm doing the same thing watching it. I'm like, neither mine. He was like, Ambassador. I was sitting there in tears, bro. Like, this was such a good movie. Man. And his performance was so heartfelt. And that was like, I think when I know, I was like, no, that's a bad boy. That's a bad boy.
And you feel it even deeper because this is your brother. You grew up same household, man.
Same household.
Like, I'm just thinking about my brother. Like, seeing my brother, like, go to that level when it comes down to, you know, at that time, to be honest, outside of somebody like Denzel, was one of the best, if not the best, black male actor in the world. And top 5, 10 all actors. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's your brother.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
A lot of pride, man.
So yeah, man, I can see how that brought you to an emotional place, man, just seeing that. Right.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, yes. But I mean the performance.
Yeah, no, the performance.
Like, you know, I'll watch
Oscar, man.
After, you know, what's so funny too. I'll rewatch movies. Being a father. Yeah. I'll watch movies now that have anything to do with being a father or that I've seen before I was a kid, and I'll be bawling like a little baby in there. But I'm glad I'm by myself. Like, it's different. You know what I mean? And now I think that was the first time I ever had a feel-good cry moment watching a movie. Yeah. Like, you're happy for him. He's crying, and you're like, yeah, get that money. That as a black man, you know, knowing the things that we have to go through that are, you know, tenfold. Like, we got thicker skin, but still. So, I don't know. And being a parent, too, I can't, I'm starting now to really get it in their heads. You know, I think even earlier today, he said something about my son, my oldest and my youngest, and he said something about, I'm black. He said, I'm black too. I said, yeah, remember that shit. Remember when you pulled over? And they kind of looked at me like, huh? And I was like, not too soon. We'll get to that. Because I remember seeing Ryan Clark, I believe, one of the announcers on ESPN, breaking down. Yeah. And he was like, I didn't prepare my son. And he almost lost his life because he's out here running with these other kids that aren't black. And he's talking like them and they pulling guns at him. He's just like, well, you know, my dad is. And he's like, I could have lost my son by not having him prepared. So it's a slippery slope, man. But, you know, it's something, you know, on one end, you want to spoil your kid. You want to say, well, damn, you had a white kid could be spoiled, but why can't the black kid be spoiled? Like, well, because a spoiled black kid could get killed.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of the conversations I had with my nephew many times, because he live in Kansas. So, you know, it's predominantly white where he's, you know, at going to school. He actually got a scholarship for football, so he's about to go to college now. But we've had a lot of those conversations over the years. Like, you know, all of your friends, like you're not like them. You got to always remember that they're your friends. You know, it's love there, but the things that you see them do, you can't do the same thing. You got to move very differently than they move. You know, so you got to have that conversation. So I love that you brought that up.